gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. On the show today, we look at unique fishing festivals from Kashmir in India's north to Tamil Nadu in the south. Also, how to get around the Andaman and Nicobar Islands as new development is set to reach this remote archipelago. Then we go to Japan to look at a different side of Japanese culture. Let's start. Centuries-old fishing traditions are once again bringing communities together in Kashmir and Tamil Nadu. While one festival focuses on preserving centuries-old springs, the other marks the arrival of summer and the start of the agricultural cycle. Here's a look at two unique fishing traditions, keeping culture and community alive across India.
Across two very different landscapes of India, the freshwater springs of Kashmir and the temple tanks of Tamil Nadu, age-old fishing festivals are once again drawing thousands of people together in a celebration of tradition, community and nature. In South Kashmir's Kazikund, hundreds of villagers stepped into the waters of the historic Panzat spring located in Panzat village, carrying wicker baskets and fishing nets as part of a nearly 400-year-old annual fishing festival. The name Panzat is believed to have originated from Panch Hath, meaning 500, a reference to the legendary 500 springs that once flowed through the area. Men, women, children and the elderly spread across the spring, scooping fish from the water while simultaneously clearing weeds, silt and debris from the water body. The spring is considered the lifeline of the region as it provides drinking water to more than a dozen villages and irrigates orchards and paddy fields in the Kazikund belt. The annual tradition has long served as a community-led conservation effort, helping clean and preserve the spring before the farming season. Residents here say that generations have grown up witnessing this ritual, with stories about the festival being passed down through families over centuries. Visitors from across the valley gathered to witness the spectacle.
Along with the festival, people also clean the main water source at Panzath Nag, where fish are caught as part of the celebration. This happens once every year, and the tradition has been carried on for generations. As young people grow up, they learn from their elders and understand that this custom was started by their ancestors. In the same way, they continue to preserve and pass it on.
This fish festival has been going on for a very long time. I am nearly 70 years old now, and even before my time, we inherited this tradition from our grandfathers and great-grandfathers. I believe it has been celebrated for at least 1 or 2 centuries, with each generation keeping the tradition alive.
The festival has also drawn attention for highlighting the importance of protecting natural water sources, as climate concerns and shrinking water bodies become increasingly serious. Meanwhile, hundreds of kilometers away in Tamil Nadu's Madurai district, thousands of villagers gathered at Kalandari village to celebrate another centuries-old fishing tradition, marking the beginning of summer. This celebrates the deep connection between farming, faith and community life, and is centered around the local village temple. Villagers from different communities gather here every year to take part in rituals seeking blessings for good health, prosperity, and a successful harvest season. Days before the celebrations begin, posters and public announcements are made across nearby villages, inviting people to join. The villagers also offer the fish that is caught to the village deity. This is believed to provide better yields during the harvest season and support good health for the rest of the year. The way they catch the fish is really interesting. They just jump into the water with hardly any gear, just a net or a basket.
Far from mainland India, scattered across the Indian Ocean, lies one of the country's most remote and strategically important regions, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. For many communities here, ferries remain the only reliable way to get around the islands. But now, massive new infrastructure plans promise to transform travel and tourism across the archipelago. Let's look at where travel here stands today and what it could become tomorrow. In the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, travel is rarely simple. Across this vast chain of more than 800 islands, ferries remain the lifeline connecting remote communities spread across the Indian Ocean. To board one, passengers sometimes leap from small boats into larger ships in rough seas, carrying sacks of coconuts, market supplies, and everything needed for daily life. For many islanders, missing a ferry does not mean waiting hours. It can mean waiting for days.
See, these passenger vessels, they also do carry cargo also. They are one of the lifelines of Andaman Nicobar. It's not just now, but it has been since decades, and almost I've seen 50 years. Last 50 years of my life, we have been seeing shipping coming here and transferring all these essentials and passengers to all these remote islands.
The government-run MV Kalighat travels across the archipelago, linking islands from Srivijayapuram, formerly Port Blair, all the way south towards Campbell Bay in Great Nicobar. Journeys can take hours, sometimes even days. Passengers bring their own food, sleep on board, play games, and settle into the slow rhythm of island travel. For visitors, it feels like stepping into another world. And that remoteness defines the Nicobar Islands. Currently, the only international airport in the region is Srivijayapuram in the Andamans. Reaching Great Nicobar or Car Nicobar often requires ferries, smaller boats, or limited government transport services. Some islands still lack deep water jetties, making even basic transfers difficult during rough weather. For tourism, accessibility remains the biggest challenge. But what makes these islands fascinating is precisely how untouched they still are. Dense tropical forests, coral-rich waters, remote beaches, marine biodiversity, and proximity to Southeast Asian tourism hubs like Phuket, Langkawi, and Penang. The region possesses what officials describe as world-class ecological resources, with immense tourism potential. Today, most visitors to the islands are domestic Indian tourists, with international tourism still relatively limited due to connectivity constraints.
Everything moves on track, then probably in a year or two, we shall be lined up with some 10 plus more vessels new. And the moment these new vessels comes, we'll start planning the decommissioning of the older vessels so that we meet the requirement.
That may soon change dramatically. India's massive Great Nicobar project aims to transform the southern Nicobar Islands into a strategic maritime and tourism hub. The development includes a major transshipment port, a new township, power infrastructure, and most importantly for tourism, a greenfield international airport. The airport is expected to initially handle around 1 million passengers annually before eventually scaling up to nearly 10 million passengers per year. That is several times the current passenger traffic handled at Srivijayapuram Airport today. For travelers, this could completely reshape tourism in the region. What today feels remote and difficult to access may tomorrow become one of India's biggest tropical tourism getaways. Much like Bali, Phuket, Penang, or Langkawi, the Nicobar Islands could eventually emerge as a major Indian Ocean destination.
From centuries-old festivals to underground tattoo culture and quirky pop culture cafés, Japan continues to fascinate the world with its unique blend of tradition and modern identity. Let's take a look at some of the different sides of Japan.
Thousands of people fill the streets of Tokyo's historic Asakusa district for the 3-day annual Sanja Matsuri, one of the biggest Shinto festivals in Japan. The festival honors the founders of the famous Sensoji temple and attracts nearly 2 million visitors every year. The streets of Asakusa became a stage of celebration as participants dressed in traditional happy coats paraded across neighborhoods, carrying around 100 ornate portable shrines known as mikoshi. The shrines are believed to carry the spirits of the deities.
It's heavy, incredibly heavy. Dozens of people carry it together, but even so, the weight each person bears is still really intense. That part is honestly very tough.
The festival is deeply rooted in Japanese culture and community spirit and provides a unique spiritual experience to the attendees, drawing visitors from all around the world.
The sense of unity and how everyone combines their strength, those are the things that make this experience enjoyable.
This is truly a Japanese tradition. A lot of people from overseas come to watch as well, so I hope they can experience and feel a part of Japanese tradition.
As Japan celebrates Sanja Matsuri, Irizumi, Japan's traditional tattoo art, offers a rare public glimpse into another side of Japanese culture. In Japan, tattoos still carry a social stigma because of their historic association with organized crime groups, particularly the Yakuza. As a result, many people with tattoos keep them hidden in daily life, covering them at work and even avoiding public baths or gyms.
A long time ago, as far back as the Edo period, criminals were associated with tattoos in Japan. I think people in Japan still have prejudice towards tattoos, but people abroad less so.
But during Sanja Matsuri, tattooed participants proudly display their intricate body art as they carry the mikoshi through the streets. The colorful tattoos, often inspired by dragons, samurai, mythical creatures, and folklore, transform the festival into a living canvas of Japanese artistry.
I don't get a lot of chances to showcase the tattoos done by my tattoo artist, so I think it's a good opportunity to be able to present them here.
Tattoos are a way for me to express myself.
From ancient traditions to modern pop culture, another unique Japanese experience that continues to attract visitors from around the world is the maid cafe. In Tokyo's Akihabara district, customers are greeted with cheerful phrases like "Welcome home, master," as waitresses dressed in elaborate maid costumes serve food, games, and performances in fantasy-themed cafes. Originally emerging as niche hangouts for anime and gaming enthusiasts in the early 2000s, maid cafes have now become a mainstream tourist attraction. Operators say the cafes are designed not just as restaurants, but as immersive entertainment spaces. For the workers of the cafe, who have spent more than 2 decades in the industry, maid cafes represent a serious profession combining performance and hospitality.
I love my job and I put my heart and soul into it, but sometimes friends I haven't seen in a long time tease me a bit. When I say I've been doing this for 20 years, people are usually shocked. My family and close friends, whom I am in regular contact with, know how serious I am and encourage me without judgment. But it's true that even today, certain offhand remarks from the public can be hurtful.
Over the years, the culture surrounding maid cafes has expanded far beyond Japan's geek culture. Today, women, families, and international tourists make up a large portion of customers as the cafe has become the favorite hangout spot for many.
Before coming, I thought there would mainly be men, but when I arrived, I saw a lot of foreigners and women. I had the feeling that it has become, in a way, a genuine tourist destination.
So the more you come here, the better it gets. You create connections, you meet people. It becomes more than just a bar, just a place to hang out. It becomes like your second home almost, here.
As anime, manga, and Japanese pop culture continue spreading globally, maid cafes have evolved from niche subculture spaces into internationally recognized symbols of modern Japan.
Right now, I'd say they've established themselves as an important part of the culture because we've had anime shows focusing on maids. We've got comic books like manga focusing on maids. We've kind of expanded a little bit even to like the United States and Europe.
From sacred shrines and centuries-old traditions to tattoo artistry and pop culture cafes, Japan continues to boast its diverse identities, where the ancient and the modern coexist in uniquely fascinating ways.
Over to Thailand now, where a heartwarming story of a monk making his alms round on the deeply sacred Chao Phraya River is going viral. One abbot is making the daily morning rounds with a pack of dogs, eagerly accompanying their master on the outings. Let's see how. Along the waterways of Pathum Thani province in Thailand, an unusual morning ritual has become a beloved local sight. Every day at dawn, a Buddhist monk from Wat Chin Wararam glides down the sacred Chao Phraya River on his alms round, accompanied not by fellow monks but by a pack of loyal temple dogs.
It started because people abandoned dogs here. Originally, there was only one. Then they bred, and people kept dropping off more. So we just kept taking care of them. Now they follow me everywhere because we normally sleep in the same room. And when I get up in the morning to go on the alms round, they bark and follow along. So they've been following me ever since.
What began with a single abandoned white-haired dog taken in by the temple has grown into a floating procession of around a dozen canine companions. Each morning at 6 a.m., the monk sets off on a 30-minute journey along the river, with a dozen of the younger dogs eagerly joining him while the older ones stay behind to rest.
Right now, there are so many stressful things. The economy, wars, the global situation. But just waking up and coming to see Luangpur and the dogs boarding the boat with him, it lifts my heart. It gives me the strength to get through all the difficulties, the strength to work and get through each day.
Locals say the site has brought extra warmth and joy to the traditional Buddhist practice of making merit through almsgiving. Since videos of the monk and his dogs spread online, more residents have gathered along the riverbank to offer food and donations.
The first time I came to make offerings, I saw Luangpur leading the dogs onto the boat. Oh wow, they walked in a line. It was so adorable. After I made my offering, I was waiting to give the offering dedicated to the monks, and Luangpur came back around again. Then, the dogs jumped back onto the boat in such an orderly and cute way. It just felt good. It really healed my heart.
While some worry about the dogs tumbling into the river, the monk says it has only happened twice during playful scuffles, and fortunately every single one of them knows how to swim.
There have been a couple of times they were playing and fell into the water. They were just playing around and teasing one another, but they can swim.
Medieval legends are rising once again, not in castles or storybooks, but on the sandy shores of Denmark. In the coastal town of Hundested, artists from around the world are transforming thousands of tons of sand into towering masterpieces for one of Europe's most unique art festivals. Here's a report.
Knights, dragons, royal courts, and bustling medieval markets have taken shape along the coastline of northern Denmark. And guess what? They are all carved entirely out of sand. The annual Hundested Sand Sculpture Festival has officially opened its doors, turning the quiet Danish seaside town into a giant open-air gallery of imagination and craftsmanship. Celebrating its 15th edition this year, the festival has grown into one of Denmark's most anticipated summer attractions, drawing international artists and thousands of visitors from across the world. This year's theme, the Middle Ages, has inspired sculptors to recreate scenes filled with warriors, princesses, blacksmiths, and mythical creatures. 15 artists from countries including the Netherlands, Belgium, Canada, Italy, Latvia, the United Kingdom, and the United States have gathered in Hundested to create gravity-defying sculptures using nearly 1,000 tons of specially prepared sand. The festival was launched in 2012 to boost tourism in the small coastal town, and over the years it has evolved into a major cultural attraction. Organizers expect more than 60,000 visitors during the festival's 5-month run, with tourists arriving to witness how a material as fragile as sand can be transformed into monumental art.
There's so many good stories. We find some local stories from Denmark also. We have a story about a huge market there was in that time. It's like the middle-aged Temu thing. And the carvers, the artists, they really love this theme because there are so many good pictures and stories in it.
Unlike ordinary beach sand, the material used here contains a small amount of clay, allowing the sculptures to harden and survive months of changing weather. Artists say working with sand is both challenging and exciting, a material that demands precision, patience, and constant reinvention. Some sculptures depict giant chess-playing kings, while others bring fantasy worlds to life with dragons circling sleeping princesses and towering medieval scenes emerging in intricate detail.
For me, I'm generally more of a person that works in the now. So I always try to find a connection. So my first thought was they had kings and we still have like wannabe kings these days. Although there was not really a good connection to be found, I did find something about chess, and that was kind of lovely.
First of all, it changes already every time because we influence each other, and everybody goes also to different projects and works usually also in different materials. So we bring new techniques or ways or ideas, and then we all mix together. So it does keep evolving.
What makes the festival even more unique is its sustainable approach. The sand used for the sculptures is carefully preserved and reused every year. The Hundested Sand Sculpture Festival will remain open until October 18, 2026, offering visitors months to explore this striking blend of history, storytelling, and temporary art by the sea.
That's all we have for you on the show this week, but we'll be back next weekend with more travel content for you. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.